right, so first of no, not yet. We'll do that. First of all, before I go any further, I can never forget to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen. Amen.
So, Sergeant Major, I know you're going to give me a hard time about this later on. So, first off, thank you, sir, for that wonderful. Wow. You just made me look like a hero here. I'm sure there's some nurses out there like, that's not. So going back to my first statement, God has blessed my career, truly has, and He's put me in certain places in certain times of my career that has always been at the end result for my benefit, my family's benefit. He's also put people in my life at certain places at a certain time. First off, the officers, okay? And I'm going to speak slow, sir. I know you told me you can never talk too slow. Colonel Chapman was my first mentor, my first example of what an officer is supposed to be. Mrs. Chapman welcomed my wife into the world of being an Army wife. Back then it was a little different, so now it's Army spouse. And it was all such a warm, welcoming experience. It was very nervous coming here. My first assignment was at a medac. I was like, whoa, what am I going to do at a medac? I wanted to be with the 10th Mountain, And I can't tell you how much I've learned, and I still carry to this day. If some of you still remember, when I promoted Major Taylor, right? I don't memorize, I don't read off the oath of office. I do it all by memory. And I learned that from a nurse. General Esther, when I was his adjutant, would always ask for, let me get the bio of this person that's getting promoted, blah, 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 and I'd give him all the information. Got it. And we get it, do the ceremony, he would never read off anything. He'd go and say wife, he'd know the wife's name, he'd know the children, he'd know where they graduated from. And I took that with me from here. As a company commander, every time we did a re-enlistment ceremony, it was something I picked up from him. Now, from Colonel Chapman, you gotta always be proper, okay? And so I'll never forget the first time I was dressed down by 06. But he did it in such a professional manner. All he had to do was just talk to me a certain way, and it was worse than somebody screaming at me. And I made the mistake of walking into his office to give I don't even remember exactly what it was, but I was chewing gum. And it never happened again. And to this day, I will not go into a meeting. If I have a piece of gum, it's coming out. Thank you, sir. It's funny because the other day, he sends me an email. Hey, I got some questions about your CV. And my nurse could tell you I was so nervous. I felt like a lieutenant again. Oh my God. Hold on a second. That patient's going to have to wait. I got to respond. So we come full circle. I say that because I'm getting promoted to lieutenant colonel in the place where I got my first promotion. And there's a lot of people here from that, all the way from Mr. Barton, who used to be the guy who would make all the announcements, right? To Colonel retired Scotty Clark, who was a Baylor Cub, a captain back then, and I'm sorry if I miss anybody, Sergeant Megan, who was the NCOIC here. As the adjutant, I got to manage the AOD roster. Was the first sergeant in here, company commander? I used to manage the AOD roster. I hated it. But there was a speech that my wife made me listen to the other day by Steve Jobs, Connecting the Dots, right? Yeah. And so by me doing that, I got to appreciate the NCO Corps, you know? So some of them are retired here today. Some I'm serving as their primary care provider today. I'll be checking on your A1C. You know? And that started the beginning of it, okay? Go to my next assignment to Germany, and I meet a wild Sergeant Major who I initially didn't like at all, and Sergeant Major Layton. Who ended up becoming the Great Plains Regional Sergeant Major on down the road. But he taught me things that you learn from the NCO Corps. And one of the biggest values I got was always respecting what they do, okay? The term, the Army's backbone, okay? It sounds so cool to say it, but man, I cannot imagine all this stuff that I'm wearing today would not happen without NCOs. Flat. This is not possible. I wouldn't be here today. You know, they played a big role in that. Okay? So Sergeant Major, Sergeant Straub, who was my NCO for medical maintenance in Kosovo. Now, I don't know, Sergeant Major, if you remember him, but there he is right there. He's a retiree now. Thank you. Thank you for what you've done. And even my current NCO, where's she at, Sergeant Jackson? I know I drive you crazy. I know I do, you know. But I've been blessed with the best NCO, I think, that I could ever have here at Mount Creek, okay? And Sergeant Major Riddick is not here, but I hope he doesn't take her away from me. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for running the interference for all this. Before I get to the family, because I'm going to get all choked up, and I'm trying to avoid it. To my civilian counterparts, to Dr. Intantola, you know, I know sometimes I'm like, come on, we got to do this, okay? And my nurses, okay, and CNOICs, okay? Oh, I forgot to give a shout out to Sergeant First Class. I think you retired as a Master Sergeant, didn't you? No? Okay, I'm sorry. All right. So he was, Sergeant Souls was here also back when I was here. He actually, funny story, the way I met him, standing in the elevator.
Don't you tell that story.
I'm a young lieutenant just standing there, right? And I got all these cuts on my face because I have to shave every day. And I look at him, he's got this smooth. And so I break the awkward silence by saying, "Hey, Sergeant, LT, how you doing? What do you do to keep your face so smooth like that?" And he started laughing like, he goes, "LT, this is what you need to do. You need to put some Noxema." And then I couldn't connect the dots, but I come here and my CNOIC is Miss Souls. And then when I see him in the hallway, I'm like, "You're married to..." I was so happy. Anyway, so back to my civilian counterparts here, okay? Mr. Talley, who was Major Talley back then when I was here in '96, to my nurses, to the folks downstairs. I recently became your OIC. I promise you'll see more of me. It's really hard to kind of be a doctor, having my own patients, and also serving as the OIC. But I promise you, I will make an effort for you guys to see me and to get to know me, okay? And maybe I'll push the command to do some team building stuff so we can do it together, okay? So more to follow on that, okay? Okay, cover everything. Of course, my current leadership, Colonel Koenig, Colonel Contino, thank you. I know I could be difficult sometimes, but we always both have the patients in mind, and also our soldiers and our people, part of the civilian counterparts on the team. So thank you. Okay. All right. So And it's the part I gotta. So, to my family, Colonel Chapman nailed it on the head. The Army has been so great, right? Because of them, you know. So yes, the NCOs played a role. Yes, my leaders played a role. But if I didn't have a happy home, it wouldn't have been worth it. So, my wife, you've been my biggest fan, my high school sweetheart. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sergeant Major. You broke it. You broke it. Thank you. So, it's been a long ride so far, all right? There's been bumps, but you've always been there by my side. Thank you. Yeah. And my boys, you know, always good to come home, right? After long deployments. To you guys. You guys are young men, very proud. This little guy right here, if you wonder what I looked like 22 years ago. Except the beard. Just imagine a lot of bloody... that's what I look like. Okay? And my daughter-in-law, okay? The daughter I never had, okay? And I'm so happy to have you here today and have you as part of my family. I love you. Okay? Of course, my cousin, okay? Thank you for coming out. He's the one that helped load up the U-Haul when me and my wife were sneaking away from New York to go to college in Tampa, Florida. And did I forget anything? Okay, so, you know, if I forgot anybody, I love you. Thank you for coming out. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for coming and sharing this special occasion with Lieutenant Colonel Narvaez and our IHMH family. Please come forward to offer your congratulations to Lieutenant Colonel Narvaez and then join us for food on the 4th floor in the multi-purpose room.